Welcome to the Word of Truth. This is Teacher D.H. Boone. Today's message is called Fight the Good Fight of Faith. Fight to win. We all have a spiritual warfare going on that we have to be in it. Yes, God said the battle belongs to Him, but we still must show up and we got to do our part. We have to make sure that we fight spiritually with our faith and don't let nothing tear us down. Now is the time that you got to keep pressing. Yes, God said that you're going to have hard times. He said you're going to have tribulations. He said you're going to have tests. And Jesus said that, you're going to have a hard time. First and foremost is because they gave Him a hard time. When you follow the Lord, you're going to have a hard time. It's because the enemy is going to try to pull you away. He's going to try to pull you away through people and through circumstances and things. The enemy don't want no one to serve the Lord. So what he does is he try to create things to get us to give up and go backwards. But you got to keep going forward and you got to keep fighting that good fight of faith. You have to realize faith means believing things that you don't see. Believe things based on what God tell you, and have faith and have hope and knowing that whatever you desire could be had and that circumstances will get better. You always don't never let nobody take your hope and your faith. You got to. See, God said to just live by faith and not by sight. The enemy wants you to base things on what you see, But if God tell you to do something, you have to trust Him. Because everything works together for the good for those who love God and called out according to His purpose, And see, God is a God that, if something wasn't meant, then it was a roadblock. And something was meant to go, you won't have no problem. God is a good God. So now it's the time for you to stand strong. And now it's the time for you to keep fighting. Whatever going on in your life, if God promised you something, then you have to stand on God's word. Because the truth is what sets you free. But God didn't give you a spirit of fear, but a love, power, and a sound mind. And God expects you to use that power, use that, use the love, and have a sound mind, because God said, if you love me, you will believe me. So if you love God, then you should believe what He tell you. And so whatever He say, you got to stand on that word. I don't care how it looks. And see, God will stretch your faith. He will stretch your faith, and other people around you may not believe what you believe, but you got to know if God told you something, then that's what it is, But see, a lot of times, that's why, it's not good to tell everybody what God told you, because some people, when they lack in faith, then they'll start discouraging you and talking against what God told you. That's why everything is not meant for you to tell everybody, But now it's the time for you to stand strong. We see what's going on in the world. We see it's a lot of stuff going on. We see there's a lot of hit and runs. There are a lot of home invasions. There are a lot of parents, fathers against their sons, sons against their fathers, mother against their daughters, daughters against their mother. But God said it was going to be this way, And God say, before the second coming, He said, you're not going to be able to tell the seasons. Now think about it. It's almost May, and it's supposed to snow tomorrow, Just think about it, So now it's the time people need to start paying attention. You can't help what's going on around you. You can't help what people decide to do. But now it's the time for you to fight the good fight of faith. You have to stand strong. You have to believe what God tell you to do. You have to speak those things that's not as though they were. You have to speak it and you have to believe it. God say, what's in a man's heart, so is he. And whatever God told you, you better keep speaking it and you better keep believing it. And you got to just know that, hey, it's about to manifest sooner or later. See, God, He won't give us more than we can bear. So whatever you're going through, God know that you're able to bear it, or else God wouldn't allow you to go through it. Now we ourselves put stuff on us that we can't blame on God. We can't blame on nobody else. We can't even blame it on the devil, because God tell us to avoid temptation. When you surrender to God 100%, then you can resist the devil, he will flee. But see, if you're not 100% committed to God, then that's that chance that you're going to give in to the enemy. So can't nobody say that the enemy made me do it. The enemy, only thing he does is reveal what's already inside you. So see, now is the time for us to fight the good fight of faith. And don't let the enemy, don't listen to what he say, because he a liar, he a deceiver, he the father of lies. He tried to appear as an angel of light, which he's not. So that's why you have to be careful and lean on God. Lean on God's understanding. Don't lean on your own understanding. But now is the time for you to stand strong and say, hey, Jesus died for me to have a good, abundant life, a good, unforgiving, righteous life. I've been made right through him. So I got to make sure that I follow all the commandments and I walk in all the fruits of the Spirit. I have to make sure that I walk uprightly each and every day. I have to realize that Jesus is inside me, and God the Father, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity is inside me, and know my every move, my every thought. So I have to be conscious of what I say, how I act, how I communicate, how I respond to people, and I have to realize God is with me all the time. He know when I'm doing something against his commandments and his will for my life. See, you have to be conscious at all times. That's how you fight that good fight of faith, saying, you know what, God told me what to do. He told me what I should do. So I know he's watching me. So hey, God said if I love him, then I will believe him. So I know he's inside me. He know my thoughts. So I'm going to have to keep fighting. I have faith, and that's what you have to do. You have to start with that mustard seed faith, start with a little faith. And then, you got to start with a bigger faith and bigger faith and bigger faith, but you have to believe it. You got to believe it, Can't nobody make you believe what God said. You have to believe it for yourself. Now it's the time for you to fight that good fight of faith. It's time for you to fight to win, Don't just give up just because things might not look a certain way, See, God, he give us tests to see, are we going to believe? Are we going to stand on his word no matter how it looks or what somebody else says, And so, God said, hey, if you believe it, you shall receive it. So God said, if you believe what I told you in the midst of the enemy trying to alter how things look and try to make you believe in something else, if you stand, God said, I will give you what I promised you. See, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep standing. You got to keep speaking those things that's not as though they were. You got to keep walking, like you have it. Act like you have it and keep speaking and say, I know that every day you wake up, you say, I'm one day closer to that blessing, to whatever God told me he was going to give me. I'm closer to my healing. I'm closer to a financial breakthrough. I'm closer to my marriage getting renewed, my kids getting set free. I'm closer to that position, to that gift, to that project. I'm closer to finding my husband or finding my wife, whatever God promised you, because God give us all different promises, but we have to make sure that we do what it is God tell us to do. We can't go around disobeying God and expect God to make good. But see, God want to see, are you going to fight for what he promised you? Are you willing to stand strong in the midst? Are you willing, even if they persecute you like they did Jesus, are you willing to stand? Are you willing to bear that cross? Are you willing to fight, or are you going to give up? Now is the time for you to fight and stand strong. Don't let the enemy come and knock you down. You have to realize you're in the spiritual warfare, and you in it to win it. The battle belongs to the Lord, but your part is to be in the word, stand in the word, do the word, and make sure that you use God's word as a weapon, because God said his word is like a two-edged sword. It could cut, it could stab, it could decapitate, it could wound, it could hurt, but you have to use his word as your weapon. against the enemy, okay? That's what you use in your spiritual warfare in the battle. Fight to win. Don't just give up. Don't let this, you say, oh no, this is the day that God has made and I will rejoice and be glad in it. You have to make sure that you speak it. Be strong, stand strong, keep your head up, and don't you dare let the enemy come and knock you down, because God said that if you stay strong and you press to the end, he said, I will give you the promise. I hope that you enjoyed this message. Until next time, may the peace of God be with you. Peace.